Motorcycle lessons. Well, my brother talked my daddy into finally talking him into getting a motorcycle. Me and Tony had already been to the motorcycle store looking at motorcycles. He picked out a purple one. It was beautiful. But when I went back to the store with my daddy to finance it, because my dad was going to co-sign with Tony, they said, we done sold that one. So they said, we got this red one over here. So Tony went over there. But I looked at the motorcycle. I said, no, to myself. I said, stay away from that motorcycle. Something kept telling me that. So sure enough, when we left the store, we was a few cars ahead of Tony. And everybody had stopped real quick. And I saw on my mirror that Tony, he done hit the rear end of the car. He broke his leg and all the way to two bones, both of them sticking out of it below the knee. It was terrible. Oh, Tony now, he was cussing and screaming, oh, I'm dying. I don't blame him because it was terrible. But later on, I saved up enough money to get me a little motorcycle, a used one, because I knew Daddy wouldn't buy me a new one or let me get one. But I got it, and they said, I thought I told you you couldn't have no motorcycle. I said, well, it's just a little one. But later on, I decided to write it down to my Uncle Doris and Chester's. They had like 60 acres of land, part of it woods, part of it sage fields. So I went down in the sage field. I was riding around. There was a sinkhole in that field, and I stayed away from it. But I didn't know it, but another sinkhole had developed, and I had that motorcycle wide open, son. Just riding around, I was having the time of my life. But I went off in that sinkhole. That thing was like 3 or 4 foot deep. But I went down in it, and it hit the end of it. It slung me up in the air at least 12 foot because I was looking down at that motorcycle in the air, and I saw that motorcycle dig its way out and start rolling right to where I was going to land. And I was like this, oh no, and I straddled that motorcycle right on the gas tank, son. We turned over, motorcycle me did. I laid there at least 10 or 15 minutes in agony pain. It was terrible. The stupid thing wouldn't crank, so I had to push it like 500 yards up to my grandmother's house. She said, what are you doing, John? I said, oh, nothing. This stupid thing won't crank. I sure wasn't going to tell her what happened because my daddy would have took it away from me. But I guess the story is,